Happy New Year to you, Krishna.
Yeah. Second, I am here. Very soon I should be able to start. So I have sent the YouTube. Now we can go see my share screen here. And I had to open my lectures. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Very good. Oh, we'll start.
It's not full.
It should be 63, right? It should be 63.
63, yeah. The screen is not in presentation form. We can also see the other slides.
What about now? Somebody. Can you see now?
Yeah, this is perfect.
Okay. Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Parama Gurubhyo Namaha, Asmat Sarva Gurubhyo Namaha, Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha Parabrahmane Namaha, Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha, Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Thanks for waiting. In the last moment, I had to reboot my computer, so it took a little bit longer. What we are trying to do today is still a review. We're reviewing Sri Shankara Bhashya for the second chapter particularly. Okay, let me ask you a simple question. Why are we taking so much time for second chapter of Shankara Bhashya? Any person can answer?
Because he thinks this is just chapter 2 itself is the gist of Bhagavad Gita.
Very good answer, correct. So we want to understand deeply the mind of Sri Shankaracharya, and that is hidden in the second chapter. So knowing second chapter very well will give you a very good guidance for the entire Shankara Bhashya for the whole of Gita. So that's why we are trying to know more. Second thing is, see, it's very traditional. Let's be honest with everybody, right? See, people who are not born in Advaita Sampradaya, or who are not familiar with Advaita Sampradaya, they always, when they study Advaita textbooks or Advaita Bhashya, they're always suspicious of everything, right? It's like somebody from Indian guy who, mistakenly, who has gone to the other side of the Pakistan border and he's stuck somewhere. He's suspiciously looking at everybody. Like that, we see every verse as, oh my God, this is not what I want. Something like that, right? So we need to change that attitude and look very seriously, very honestly, looking at every concept from Shankara Bhashya to understand, is this person really disagreeing with everything or going totally in a different direction altogether? So what is his direction? What is the essence as per Shankaracharya, Sri Shankaracharya? That's what we are trying to understand. Do you sort of, are you okay with this kind of approach? See, every time I come up with new ways of looking at things, and this is not a traditional class where we just go and then follow certain things and go further. By now you already know that this is not a traditional Bhagavad Gita class like other people do it. You already know that. Are you okay? with
Yes,
this approach.
Sure.
good.
Okay. Ask questions whenever you want, because this is when I want you people to understand the concept so well that it is not that, many times you go in and you see, I've seen some older people, right? When you ask them, have you studied Bhagavad Gita? Yes. How many? Oh, a big Acharya, very powerful Acharya taught me all Bhashya, Shankar Bhashya, Madhu Bhashya, Ramanuja Bhashya, and even other Bhashyas also. I studied for like 15, 16 years or more or something like that. Then, do you understand what is the essence of Shankar Bhashya here or something like that? They, if you ask a question like that, they may feel here and there left out. All I want you to do is think deeply and try to get concepts very, very well set in your mind. And that's what I'm trying to do forever, actually. And many people, the moment you say Advaita or Shankar Bhashya, suddenly the concept goes, oh my God, this universe is illusory. How can I believe that? This is the first thing they start asking. We need to understand the concept of mithya very, very well. Yesterday, or in the last class, we talked about a concept of Sat and Asat. Can anyone tell me what is the definition of Sat according to Shankaracharya, and what is the definition of Asat according to Shankaracharya? Sat is existence, Asat is non-existence. So, anybody want to try?
Sat is true, always, eternally true. Anything that's not eternally true is Asat.
Good answer. His sentence here is Yadvishaya Buddhihi. Whatever, if a particular the understanding or in the understanding of anything which it changes, if it changes, then that is asat. If the understanding of an object does not change, that is sat. We talked about it, right? Yadvishaya Buddhihi. That's what Shankaracharya's definition goes. So that's almost exactly same as what you said. Sat does not change forever, and Asat changes all the time, and that is Asat. So how is it? It's not that different. If you start thinking very deeply, it's not very different from Ramanuja Bhashya either, in a way. Okay, let's go to the chapter now. This shloka is very interesting. I'm skipping shlokas and only coming to shlokas which have some kind of a in-depth meaning to it, and also we can understand Shankar Bhashya here. Yavan artha udapane sarvataha sampulutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanataha. This is 246. The summary Shankaracharya wants to let us know is this. If that is the fruits achieved by a knower of Brahman includes the fruits achieved by any karma prescribed in the Vedas. So there are so many karmas prescribed in the Vedas, like Putra kamaya yajeta, Putra kamo yajeta. That means do a yajna to get a nice, good child, good whatever, right? Good son, daughter, it doesn't matter. Or maybe Swarga kamo yajeta. Oh, you want to go to heaven, so do a yajna. So in Vedas, there are a lot of karmas prescribed for achieving certain goals. All these fruits are included in the achievement of the person who knows Brahman. So knowing Brahman is most important. This is what Shankaracharya understands from this verse. We can go, in fact, we can go to this verse and try to understand the idea slightly better. Okay, let me see if I can share another super site. 46, right? Okay, this is the one. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. This is the verse, Yavanartha Udapane, Sarvata Sampratodake. So, what this, according to Shankaracharya, what the meaning here is, if you think about the ocean and think about small reservoirs of water like the wells, lakes, all these, whatever a person needs, he can get it from a well or a lake or a larger river maybe, for the purposes of taking a shower or drinking water or whatever it is. That is included in a large ocean. That is, the ocean can probably give you everything. Maybe you need to purify the water, that's a different question. But the ocean can give you whatever you want for the purposes, for whatever reason why we use water, right? For all these purposes. That means all the benefits of wells and lakes are included in the large body of water, which is ocean. Similarly, Vedas, whatever karmas are prescribed in the Vedas, the effect, the fruits of all those karmas are contained in the fruit of the knowledge of a Brahman. That is a person who knows Brahman. Brahmanasya sannyasina paramartha tattvam vijanataha. That means a person who knows Brahman will get all the benefits of all other karmas which are prescribed in the Vedas. Yata kritaya vijitaya dhareyaha samyantyeva menam. This is a verse from Chandogya or something, or a Shruti Vakya. Basically, what it says is, suppose the Krita is one kind of a, like something you win, right? If you win Krita, all other minor benefits you already get. Something like that. That's how it is. That is the meaning of that. Same kind of meaning is there. Sarvam karma akhilam pata jnane parisamapyate. That means all karmas end up in jnana. So Shankaracharya takes all karmas which lead to jnana as the karmas eventually give you the knowledge of Brahman. You won't get the knowledge of Brahman directly, but it will purify your mind enough for you to pick up the knowledge of Brahman. So this is the idea. My question here is, do you see a difference in Shankaracharya's view? This seems very normal, right? There's nothing phenomenally which pops out of this meaning, does it? From this verse, the previous verse, is it anything surprising for you people?
In my opinion, Shankaracharya is including all karmas, not just karmas by Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. So
see,
all karmas.
Okay. See, Vyavasayatmika Buddhi for Shankaracharya is also what Shankaracharya says for Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, that verse, is Ekeha Kurunandana. That means whatever focuses on Atma Jnana is only one, but Bahushya Yanantascha Buddhayo Avyavasayana means there in Vedas it says there are so many goals and so many methodologies to achieve so many goals, like Yajna Yoga, this to attain this, and Nidraloka or Chandraloka or whatever, right? There are so many. So people will be thrown hither and thither. Their minds will be thrown away into different branches, and there is no end to it because, oh my God, if I do this, I'll get this. Let me do this. Let me go get all the materials needed. Let me assemble all the people needed. Let me work on it. So people keep on going after things. But Vyavasayatmika buddhi eke kurunanda bahushakaha jnantascha buddhiyo vyavasayinam. So, but the person who is focused on Atman has only one thing in mind, completely focused, and nothing else matters for him. This is how Shankaracharya understands Vyavasayatmika buddhi. Just a second. What Shankaracharya says for the next verse, that is the previous verse, what we did was, the previous verse was this, Yavanarthodapane sarvatah sampurtodake. This is what we completed. So in the immediate verse, what Shankaracharya says, oh Arjuna, for you be a Karmayogi. You are not ready yet for Jnana, you be a Karmayogi. So while doing, what is Karma Yoga? Very clearly says, Karmanyeva adhikaraha. That means you have eligibility to do only karmas. And while doing karma, don't get attracted to the fruits of karma. Ma karma pala heturbuho. Don't get attracted to the fruits of karma. Then, and also don't get attracted to the idea of not doing any karma. So be in action, do these karmas, and then if you don't get attracted to the fruits of karma, you're okay. You will get the value. This is what summary of the verse. See, why are we doing these verses? To try to understand if there is any kind of a digression or change of subject, change of something new, if Shankaracharya has something new. So this is all common as far as I know at this point. Do you see any difference?
So Krishna, if I may take a moment to kind of pause and reflect. In 246, I think Ramanuja said, there is a lot of knowledge in the Vedas. Jnani should only go for what he needs for moksha sadhana, etc.
Correct.
Right. And in Shankara is saying, a jnani will get all the knowledge in Brahman as can be found in Vedas and karmas, Veda jnana as well as Veda karma.
Correct. There's a slight deviation there.
There is, they're kind of slightly, they're similar thoughts. They're not necessarily contradictory, but they're similar, they're parallel. So I think, we have to understand both of them, and I don't think we can disagree with either one of them. It's just they're slightly different.
Just a slightly different way, right? See, if you think about it, in the Ananda Mimamsa of Taittiriya Upanishad says, Ite eshatam manusha anandaha, right? All these things. Te eshatam manusha gandharvana anandaha. Like all these things, there are different stages of ananda or bliss experienced by different types of beings, like people, the karma, Gandharvas, and karma devas, and all these different types of deities. But the Brahmananda is beyond all those things, right? It says, right? So that means that that includes all the other anandas of everything else put together.
Yes.
So in that similar way, Shankaracharya takes it. Ramanujacharya takes it in a slightly different way, in the sense that, look, you have to pick up from the Vedas based on your need, only what you need, just like how you pick up whatever you need from a small well or a lake or something like that.
Yes,
right?
Even if you're, near the lake, you just take 1 cup of water, right? That's all you need. Just because the lake is too big, you can't have the whole thing.
Exactly. So there's definitely different approaches, but they're not like totally against each other or opposite to each other here. Right?
Yes, Krishna.
Okay. So Karmanyevadikaraste is pretty much not so distinct. The next one is Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tektva Dhananjaya Siddha Samo Bhutva Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. Even here, Samatva is a mental equanimity is required. So Kevalam Ishwarartham Tatrapi Ishwarome Tushyatu iti Sangam Tektva Dhananjaya. Very nicely put here. Do actions Kevalam Ishwarartham. That means only to please the Lord. Tatrapi Ishwaro me tushyatu iti Sangam Tektva. Don't expect, oh, Ishvara will be happy with all the stuff I do. Oh my God, I'm making happy so that some benefit may come to me. Without such a view, totally for the worship of the Lord only, you do your karma without any interest in palatrishna or attraction to the fruits of actions. That will include, that will improve the Sattva Shuddhi Jnana Prapti Lakshana. So the thing is, Sattva Shuddhi will come by such action of Karmayoga. And also Siddha Siddhyoha api Samaha Tulyaha Bhutva Kuru Karmani. So that means don't be elated by positive results, or when something fails, don't be upset. Keep everything in calmness. Look at it from an equal mind. Equanimity is very important. Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. This equanimity itself is yoga. So that's what Shankaracharya says. Okay. So that's very straightforward. If you look further, you can stop me if you don't understand or you object or anything you want, you can stop me. Durena Hyavaram Karma Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya Buddho Sharanam Anvicha Kripanaha Palahetavaha. We are leading towards Stitha-Prajna. That is why I'm going slowly to understand these shlokas. Durena Hyavaram Karma Buddhi Yoga Dhananjaya Buddho Sharanam Anvicha Kripanaha Palahetavaha. Here he talks about one is very inferior to the other. What is inferior? Phalartina Kriyamanam Karma. That means something which is done with fruits in mind, with the fruits of actions in mind. That is very, very inferior kind of karma. Buddhi Yoga, Samatva Buddhi Yoga. In the previous shloka, they talked about Samatva or equanimity. So equanimity is highly superior. So what Shankaracharya says is, Samatva Buddhi Yuktat Karmanaha Janma Maranadi Hetatvat. That is, if somebody has interest in the fruits of action, the action will lead to Janma, Marana. That means a new life, and you have to experience the effects of those fruits, and you will get a new set of environment, and you are a new body, and then you have to go through the experiences. Again, you do such similar actions with fruits as interest. If you have interest in the fruits, you will get another life, and you will have to experience the pluses and minuses of those lives. So this will end up in an eternal cycle of births and deaths. So, tat paripakajayam va sankhya buddho. Once you have the samatva buddhi, equanimity, that will end up eventually in sankhya buddhi. Sankhya buddhi means the knowledge of Atman.
Hi, this is Ashok here. I just joined today.
Yes.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
See, we are talking about yajna without any fruit. I mean, like you are going to do without asking any fruits from the god. It's like pure meditation without asking anything. That's how I understand it.
Here it is more yajna, not just meditation. But thing is, yajna, of course, with a mind, whatever attitude the yajna.
Yeah, my question is, do you think Putra Kamishti Yaga is a way down by this? Because you are asking the god, I need Putra. You are asking the god, and you have again Swarga Kamishti Yaga. Again, you are asking God for something, and you are doing an yajna, right?
Yes.
So does that mean it's a way down.
See, anything which has a goal like a Putra Kameshti or Swarga Kameshti, they're all lower level. And because this person will be interested in the fruits, and because of the fruit, he is very much interested in doing the right, yajna in a whatever proper format, proper format. But the goal is not to achieve realization of Paramatma or Atman, because Atma Sakshatkara or Paramatma Sakshatkara is the highest. Here, here Brahma, we are talking about Shankaracharya Bhashya. Here, realization of Atman. Atman itself is Brahman there, right? There is only one. They don't talk much about the Jivatma. They also know Jivatma exists. They do talk about Jivatma, but that is not important to Shankaracharya. What is important is only Parabrahman, that is only one Brahman.
Yeah, thanks. That answers.
Okay. Ashrayam Abhaya Prapti Karanam. So the thing is, the total focus on only Atman will get Abhaya. Abhaya means no fear. That will give protection. Anything else has Bhaya. Can anybody say why there is fear when a person goes after anything other than Atman? Anybody?
Those things can slip away from you at some point in time or the other.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what the goal is. It could be a good house here, good wealth, good children, or promotion, or going, or even Swarga, Indraloka. All these things are temporary. After the good credits, punya is over, that will fall. So they're all time bound. They will fall, and even while experiencing, there are a lot of fear of losing, fear of somebody taking over. Some Rakshasa might take over the Indraloka, so he will be always afraid that, oh my God, there may be a Ravana kind of a guy, something who can take over this Indraloka. So fear is always there in anything else which is other than Parabrahman. So look at the go for the fearless position, fearless object, that is Brahman. Anvicha, prarthayasva, paramartha jnana sharano bhava. Go and focus on what is the real truth, paramartha. Yataha avaram karma kurvanaha kripanaha. Whoever does anything for lower level fruits or low people. Palahetavaha, Palatrishna Prayuktaha, Santaha, Yova, Etadakshan. He quotes a beautiful verse from Upanishad. Yova, Etadaksharam Gargi, Aviditva, Asman Lokat Praiti, Sakripanaha. This life is so precious. You are given this human life. Human life is so precious because the life of a worm or a fish or a dog or any other kinds of so many species, nobody can get anywhere from those. It's just experience of karmas there. We have a human body. In this human body, we have limited time. In this limited time, O Gargi, I think this was addressed by Yajnavalkya. Sage Yajnavalkya says to Gargi, if a person, Etadaksharam Gargi Aviditva, Aksharam is imperishable Brahman. If a person doesn't know this imperishable Brahman, Aviditva Asmal Lokat Preti, if he leaves the body here, even that is not under his control as to when he can leave the body, at least not for normal people. Maybe a person like Bhishma could plan and say, I'm going to leave the body at a particular moment in life. That's not possible for rest of us. The aviditva, asmal lokat preti, those who leave their bodies here, those who die without knowing that akshara, that kripanaha, that person is useless. He will come back again and again. This is what the Shruti says. Samatva Buddhi yuktaha san swadharma manutishtan yatphalam prapnoti tachruno. He goes further and says, what is the value of Samatva Buddhi? What is the fruit? Buddhi yukto jahati ha obe sukrita dushkrite tasmad yogaya yujjasva yogaha karma sukaushalam. It's just a small change here. There's nothing big deal. There's no much difference in ideology here. Sukrite dushkrite punya pape sattva-siddhi jnana prapti dvarena yataha tasmat samatva buddhi yogaya yujjasva. You will go beyond punya and papa. Only when you go beyond punya and papa, you will reach the constant place of Brahman. Because punya will lead to good places like Swarga or something. Papa will lead to lower births, like having a body of animal or a worm or something, or being poor without knowledge or without intelligence or something like that. So both these you have to avoid to get to that goal. And sattva shuddhi jnana prapti dvarena. If your sattva is, that is by purification, one will get jnana. If they get jnana, that will be what only jnana and moksha, right? By jnana, you will get realization. So, what is efficiency in action? Kaushalam kushala bhavaha. That is, efficiency in action is having equanimity and then offering everything to Ishvara. And with that mind, if you do all the works, you are an efficient person. So by efficiency, what you achieve, you go away from this bondage. You cross this bondage of samsara. So having samatva buddhi or equanimity is very good, and that's what Shankaracharya says here. There is no difference. Any question on this shloka?
What do you mean by equanimity, Krishna?
Equanimity, do not get flustered by ups and downs in life.
Okay.
Whatever. While doing karma yoga, don't get disappointed with anything. You have to take saying that, oh, this is temporary, let's go away. This is ought to happen because of the purva karmas. We are going through all these things, and while doing all the karmas as a worship to Ishvara. So if something breaks, something happens, something loses, even if somebody loses anything in the process, saying that nothing is yours. So why are you worried? If you lose something, it was not yours to start with. So if you have that equal mind of dealing with ups and downs, that's what is equanimity.
Basically, you need to become a Stitha-Prajna.
Exactly. So it's all leading to Stitha-Prajna. That is why I'm coming to there. And so Shankaracharya's explanation of Stitha-Prajna is slightly different. So that's why I want to come there.
So Krishna, I have a question on Shloka 50 on Shankara Bhashya. So I think here in this Shloka, Shankara clearly says, do karma.
Yes.
Right? Because Advaita is generally saying jnana and moksha, so do jnana. But here Shankara clearly says do karma.
But you see, think from one perspective. See, karmanyevadhikaraste, what was that? Was 44 or something? 244 or something, right? Karmanyevadhikaraste. There, that word te is very important. Te means tava te. Tava means you.
Yes, to you. Yeah.
So it was addressed to Arjuna. So this karma, all the karma yoga stuff, we are talking about people like Arjuna and below. But this does not refer to a sannyasi according to Shankaracharya. So Shankaracharya says sannyasis have to give up karma. They don't have to do Vaidika karma. That is why we talked about yesterday, Vividisha sannyasa, Vidvat sannyasa. Vidvat sannyasa is like I told you, the great sage. He could not do any, even the rites for his mother, because the moment he, the priest gave him Achyuta, take some water and sip, he thought of Achyuta and he went into Samadhi. If that person goes into that level, that is Vidvat sannyasa. He gives up karma goes away from him. He cannot do any karma because the karmas has left him. But Vividisha Sannyasa is any some acharyas taking the orange robes now, right? Advaita sannyasis. They are all known as Vividisha sannyasis. They are planning, they're working towards getting perfection in jnana. So they've already done a lot of work in perfection, but now they are not perfected yet completely. So they can give up any Vaidika karma. So they are, even though it is Veda Vihita, whatever is said in the Vedas, they will not do any of these karmas. This is why Shankaracharya says they are exempt. So Shankaracharya always takes verses. Does it refer to a Vidwan or Avidwan? Vidwan is knowledgeable person. Avidwan. So Arjuna is taken as Avidwan, not knowledgeable. So he has to do karmas, and that's the only way he can purify his mind, win over the senses, and finally get this jnana. Sattva Shuddhi, jnana prapti dvarena. That jnana is important. So a Karmayogi person who is capable or eligible to do only Karma Yoga cannot do jnana practice. Understood?
No, I understand, but how does it apply to white-robed people like you and me? So for
I don't
white-robed people,
what's your question?
no, you're saying the sannyasis can give up karma, whether they are Vidyut sannyasa or the Vividesha sannyasa. But what happens to white-robed people like you and me?
What happens to people like us?
Yeah, for us, grahasthas like us, do we?
You have to do all the Vaidika karmas. Agnihotram,
even according to Shankaracharya, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Because when I talk to Advaita people,
karmas.
they don't put interest on karma. They always put interest on jnana. So I think that's.
See, I tell you one thing. What do you call? I had a friend, Advaiti person, and when I asked her, I read Bhagavad Gita. Karma Yoga is for the unintelligent, and Jnana Yoga is for the intelligent. Do you think I am not intelligent? I should be doing Jnana Yoga, not Karma Yoga. So I gave up all karmas. That's what she said to me. So what happened is they don't understand what is the prerequisite for Jnana Yoga. Prerequisite for Jnana Yoga is very high according to Shankaracharya. That means Indriya, complete victory over senses. Not be affected, attached to any material goals. These are all not ordinary capabilities. Only rarely a person is ready for Jnana Yoga and Sannyasa. So this is the normal mistake people do is, I am not a low-level guy, unintelligent person. Avidvamsa, if you just translate to English, not Pandit, not an intelligent person, something like that, unintelligent. So everybody will think that they are intelligent. So they will give up all karmas. That's not the true view of Shankaracharya.
Okay.
Krishna Suresh here.
Yeah.
I have a question. I don't know whether it's very early in this. In this particular context, how do we view Janaka, Raja Janaka, and Krishna himself?
Janaka is what you call. See, Janaka, according to when we come to the Karmanaivihi Samsiddhim Asthita Janaka Deha, let us try to go deep there at that time in that sloka in 3rd chapter. We will just revisit that again. But in short, Shankaracharya says, what do you call, even people like Janaka, they were doing Karma Yoga, but eventually they got Chitta Shuddhi and Jnana, and they can go further. So
you mean
all Shankaracharya is saying is Karma Yogis have to purify their mind before they can get to Jnana Yoga. That's all.
No, why I'm trying to tell is Janaka and even Bhagavan himself, they are far more active than any active person here. And even then they are actually having that jnana. So how is it that he says that this applies only to a sannyasi who has given up all actions?
Come again. See, the thing is here, sannyasis can give up actions, right? That's what is said, right?
Yeah. And on the contrary, Janaka and Bhagavan himself, they are examples for us that they are actually working, they are completely in action. At the same time, they are also involved in knowledge. So
The thing is, we can always, Shankaracharya probably may say, we can go there and figure out in those, in the Loka Sangrahame Vapi Sampashyan Kartumarhasi is there, right? Lord Krishna himself says, for the purposes of Loka Sangraha, for people's welfare of the people, to guide people, I also am acting. Lord Krishna says that I don't need to do any action, but I will still act to be a leader and to be an example for the rest of the people. So we can take it that way, and Shankaracharya probably takes it that way. It's still not a big issue for Shankaracharya, because if you look at it, Shankaracharya says, Saguna Brahma, he is a guide, he is a Ishvara. All worship is done to Ishvara. And that's the only way you can do in this universe, where we are in a transactory universe, right? That is Vyavaharika universe, where Vyavahara is occurring, transactions are occurring. We're stuck here. In this, Ishvara is the highest. So worship to Ishvara is important, and that Ishvara can help us too. So see, this is not a purely illusory thing people are thinking about. You know, people may be mistaking that, oh, it's all illusion. Nothing is there. Nothing. That's not the way Shankaracharya is saying. This world is a wonderful, colorful illusion. When you get knowledge, this all will go away. That's all. And you'll become one with Atman. That is not an easy situation, because even for yesterday, I was listening to a lecture from Swami Omkarananda. He was saying that, look, a sannyasi can give up karmas. And he was making a joke. We ourselves have not even giving up karmas. See, we are building new temples here and there. He was just joking. So what it is everybody knows, Advaita, Acharyas know, everybody knows, giving up karmas is not easy.
Just to add, Krishna, just to add to what you said, Sri Krishna Premi Swami says in his Vyakyanam to Ishavasaha Upanishad, one should do karma because they are in samsara, not because to be in samsara you have to do karma. Some karmas are inevitable. Even Atma Ramas perform some karmas because they have to still live.
They have to. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
Sharira Yatra is there for everybody, right? Yeah, even if there can be a very powerful sannyasi, is he going to stop eating? Doesn't he have hunger?
Exactly.
So he has to do whatever is necessary for taking care of hunger. Actions are compulsory in a way, forced. Everybody, by nature, we will do action. Can we go to the next verse? Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
The point is, according to Shankara, the real truth, the Brahman is actually basically it's a non-agent. It's actionless.
Yeah.
So a sannyasi actually grows in that direction.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to tell is maybe it is the very concept that Brahman is basically a non-agent. Not in the sense the way Ramanuja takes. It is basically
See, all Ramanujacharya is saying this, Saguna Brahma himself is the real Brahman, that's all, right? Shankaracharya's Saguna Brahman is same as the Ramanujacharya's Brahman. And there is no concept of Nirguna Brahman for Ramanujacharya. For Shankaracharya, Nirguna Brahman is the real Brahman, and Saguna Brahman is in this transactory world, transactory universe.
So what it means to say is, as long as actions are happening, we are in this transactional reality.
Correct.
So moment actions stop, then that means you are in that paramarthika state, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
so a sannyasi actually is transiting. He is transiting to that particular level.
Obviously, yes. Because what it says is, see, it depends on what kind of sannyasi again. If the true sannyasi, that means his karma, because of jnana, his karmas are burnt. So the body will stay as long as the momentum of the purva karmas are still in action. And the body falls off at the end of, and then he becomes one with Brahman. So the idea there is justifiable, and that's what it is, right?
Yeah, but still that question as whether Shankara is advocating freedom from action or freedom through action is questionable.
Both true, right? Because through action, he says, Sattva Shuddhi Jnana Prapti Dvarena Yataha Tasmat, Samatva Buddhi Yogaya Yujasva. He says, do action. Only thing is, he's saying, action is prescribed for people like Arjuna and like us, who have not got Sattva Shuddhi or purity of mind. So to get purity of mind, you have to do work. That is why all actions are prescribed. Vedic Karma, what do you call, there is a, what do you call, what is this? Dustaskay Saviram Yatam, Shutimatastarko Nusandiyatam, and Vedokta Karmani. He says, he talked about Vedic Karma should be done. Think about it from a different perspective. If you go check out in an ordinary, if you go check out the number of people around us, right? Smartas who are followers of Shankaracharya, they give more focus to Veda Dhyana, learning Vedas and Vedic Karmas a lot more than many other people do. Essentially, they will learn Vedas. Why? What do you call, Vedokta Karmas and Vaidika is very important in the Advaita tradition. So rarely somebody will become a sannyasi, and for sannyasi the rules are slightly different, and so are the rules different in the Ramanuja Sampradaya or Madhva Sampradaya, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Only thing is, I think in Shankara's view, one has to grow to be in a state of a sannyasi before he gets the Brahmagnana. Because Gnana is the only way.
Correct. Correct.
So probably, I mean, I'm just thinking, I mean, there is, in fact, irrespective of whether it is Ramanuja, Shankara or Madhva, Krishna himself is telling that one can achieve self-realization through Karmayoga and or through Jnana Yoga. Karmayoga, in fact, is easier. So how does Shankara, if all this Karmayoga, doing karma will lead only to Chitta Shuddhi, so how does he view it as an independent way? That I am interested to know.
Independent way, no, he will never say it's independent way. Jnana mokshaha. Jnana is the only way.
No, what I'm trying to, Lord Bhagavan himself is telling that Karma Yoga is itself is independent means to achieve a self-realization, but Shankara is telling that Karma Yoga will only lead to Chitta Shuddhi.
Okay. Good point. Karmanaiva hi samsiddhim astita janakadayaha. There, karmanaiva hi samsiddhim is given there, right? Karmanaiva means only through karma, Janaka and all got samsiddhi. What Shankaracharya says, what does samsiddhi mean? He asks. Samsiddhi means Janaka got jnana through karma. So his Sattva Shuddhi was, he attained purity of Sattva Shuddhi, that is purity of mind, and that was enough for Janaka to get samsiddhi. Samsiddhi there is jnana. He attained jnana, and through jnana he attained moksha maybe. So finally samsiddhi can be taken anywhere, right? So the interpretation can be adjusted a little bit. So Shankaracharya says even Janaka had to get samsiddhi only through jnana, but karmanaiva means from karma only he got jnana. So their samshuddhi is jnana itself can be taken as samshuddhi, right? We can go and check out. What is the verse? What is the verse number? Do you know?
No, I'm not clear about that.
Okay, that is 3rd chapter, right?
Yeah, 3rd chapter.
If you Google it, you can find it. If you want, I can check. How do we do it? Lokasangrahamevapi sampashyan kartumarhasi. I can even look at it in 3rd chapter here. Chapter. Okay, that is 320. Okay, 320. Let us go to 320. We can check it out. Not a big issue. Karmanaivahi samsiddhim astita janakadaya. Here Shankara Bhashya I am reading. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, we can.
Karmanaivahi yasmat purve kshatriyaha vidvamsaha samsiddhim moksham gantum astitaha pravrittaha ke. See, he takes Janaka as a vidvamsa. Kshatriyaha. Here they are kshatriyas. Samsiddhim moksham gantum astitaha pravrittaha. Samsiddhim astitaha. He takes astitaha as pravrittaha. They are going towards moksha. Okay, pravrittaha means they're. Look at the English translation from Gambhirananda. In the olden days, the learned Kshatriyas, Janakas and others, such as Ashwapati, Astitaha, strove to attain some siddhim liberation, karmana eva, through action itself. So their focus was to get success, samsiddhi, through action itself, pravrittaha. So they started working on action. They engaged in action. Ke Janakadeha, Janaka Ashwapati Pravrittayaha. Yadi te prapta samyak darshanaha tataha lokasangrahartam prarabdha karmatvat karmana sahaiva asanyasyaiva karma samsiddhim astita ityartha. Look at how Shankaracharya says. Yadi te prapta samyak darshanaha. Assuming that Janaka is a jnani and he already has samyak darshana. Samyak darshana means sarvajnana, all jnana. He sees the truth. Tataha lokasangrahartam prarabdha karmatvat karmana sahaiva asanyasyaiva karma samsiddhim astita ityartha. In that case, for the purposes of the welfare of the universe, to guide the other Karmayogis, as an example for the Karmayogis, so as to not dissuade them from karmas, because other people may give up all karmas, just to be as an example so that other people who are Karmayogis, who are unfit for Jnana Yoga, can continue with the Karma Yoga. They, as an example, continued with karma, asanyasyaiva, without giving up the karmas, samsiddhim astitaha. They went towards progress, siddhi. Acha aprapta samyak darshana. Suppose you assume that Janaka does not have realization. Janakadeya tada karmana sartashuddhi sadhe. Then in that case, Janaka did actions to purify his mind, and then eventually, kramena, he will get fruition, which is jnana. Athamanyasya purvairapi janakadipihi ajanadbhireva kartavyam karma kritam tavata navashyam anyena kartavyam samyak darshanavata kritarthena iti tathapi prarabdha karmayataha tvam lokasangrahamevapi lokasya unmarga pravritti nivaranam lokasangrahat amevapi prayojanam sampashyan kartumarhasi. Lokasangraha kimartam kartavya iti uchyate. That means even if they had knowledge, you have to do work to guide the other people so that you don't dissuade other people. So that is very clear here, right?
Yes, Prashant here.
Yes.
So this is Prashant here. So if I remember in a Chandogya Upanishad, there is a mention of King Pravahana Jaivali. So when Shvetaketu is the son of Uddalaka Muni, and he has some questions about Vaishwanara Vidya, if I am not wrong, and he is asked to go and meet Pravahana Jaivali. And at that time, so he has a mentality that maybe he's a Kshatriya, so he may not know anything about these vidyas. But then the rishis tell him that this Pravahana Jaivali is already at a high level. He's at a very high level of knowledge, and like he is just a king, just for continuing with his karmas. That's all. He is not doing it with respect to like doing it for some knowledge or so. Already he is a jnani, but still he is following the karmas. And if I also make a mention about some of these in Advaita also. So in one of the commentaries of like Sridhar Swami, one of the saints from the Ramdasi Sampradaya, in that case he also mentions one of the grihasthas asks him that why are you doing karma when you are already about Brahman. He says that it's not about knowing Brahman, it's about preaching people. And if I do something like if I don't do my karmas, in that case I am not the right person to preach anybody in this Vyavaharika world. And he mentions about Lord Rama and Lord Krishna. Even the god, even the Saguna Brahman, if he takes some avatara, they have to do the karmas as per the Vyavaharika world, so that people follow them in future as well. I think this is what I understand.
Exactly. That's true. It very much applies to what we are trying to learn here. Yes. Any other questions? So because it's 9:14 now, let's if there are more questions, let us answer the questions right here. So open up because we cannot go to next, because I want to take up Stitha-Prajna as a full block. I don't want to give up in the middle and stop somewhere in the middle of Stitha-Prajna. So the shlokas and Shankara Bhashya there are very nice views which can help us understand Shankaracharya's mind very well.
Talk about Stitha-Prajna, about the quiz, Krishna.
I didn't understand.
The quiz you asked, can you talk about it?
Okay, what quiz did I ask? Okay.
Whether Aradhana is part of Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, or all
See,
three.
that will take a little bit longer time, Aradhana, but in summary, it's a little bit complex, right? It depends on who does the Aradhana. Can a person like Narada do Aradhana too, right? So it's a little bit complex question I asked. It depends on the aspirant. Ordinary person doing Aradhana is different, right? So again, it depends on the goal. What does the person want? Is he trying to achieve Atma Sakshatkara or not? Or if it is for what purpose he is doing Aradhana, or as just a worship of the Lord. So there are so many assumptions to be made to answer the question. So it was not really a clear quiz. It's complex, just for people to think a little bit more complex, to look at all the different possibilities before answering. And there are many good answers and right answers and wrong answers, or maybe, right? So there's a combination there. We'll go answer that in the next class in detail.
This is Prashant here. One more, actually a very general question. It just came to my mind when you asked about the difference between the bhashyas from two acharyas. So I had one, like whenever I study this Shankara Bhashya, Ramanuja Bhashya, or Madhva Bhashya, in all the three cases, whenever I read those, I feel yes, this is right. And then in that case, all three looks similar to me, even though there are differences. Why is it so? Like maybe is it because I'm not able to discern between the three?
See, it is very hard to understand the comparative view of Bhashyas at a first level of Bhagavad Gita study. See, we can study the entire Bhagavad Gita and we can justify all the three Acharyas in high depth. You will not be able to find any fundamental problems with any of these Bhashyas. Let us put it this way. These are all Daivamsha Sambhutas, right? Last time I checked, I don't think anybody would say, oh, Krishna Kashyap, he's like, he's a divine guy. I've never found anybody say that, right? Many people agree that Shankaracharya is a avatar of Ishvara, right? Madhvacharya himself says he is an avatar of Vayu. And Ramanujacharya, people say he is avatar of Adi Shesha. Do you think these great, divine people will do simple mistakes? People assume that they do simple mistakes because they're not understanding the depth of what those people are trying to say. So these, again, as I told you a long time back, I had given a picture. Shankaracharya uses the method of the Shukapatha, or the method of the bird directly going to the goal. Ramanujacharya and other acharyas use the Vipirika Patha, or a step-by-step method of achieving the goal. So this is how you can say with acharyas, it is very hard to find problems with any bhashya. The more and more you study sincerely and go deep, my God, it makes sense. It's very hard to push away. To get to that level of discriminating and say something, I prefer this bhashya over this bhashya, one has to study the Upanishads, one has to study the Brahma Sutras, one has to study the Bhagavad Gita Bhashyas, and then do a lot of penance. And eventually you say, look, for me the path is this is better than the other path. So you will be able to, at that time, you will be able to, when you really want to practice, you'll be able to say that this appears better for me. So it depends on the personality who is trying to do. So for each person, we are at different levels. So for each person, some other path may be better, one path may be not so good, some other path may be better. So this will happen even on a personal basis. But it's not understandable when we study the Bhashyas, because when you honestly study without preconceived opinions. I always studied with preconceived opinions, always. Because of the Purva Karmas and because of my family, because of my so many things, like my whatever I learned. But now I am opening my mind and trying to see, how can I find any problem where it looks like everything is okay? So when you think clearly, you cannot find fundamental issues.
Yeah,
We'll get when we come to the 18 chapters, maybe there may be some kind of a clear path or clear discrimination somewhere. We don't know. And I will leave that to you because each person is thinking from their own minds. We are all studying together. By the way, I'm enjoying this because I'm learning more by studying together with you folks.
Krishna, Suresh here.
Yeah.
I have one comment. Even if the Acharyas' views are different, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Because the truth is like that. Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti.
Perfectly right. Yes. Truth, you cannot say this is truth and put it in a box. In fact, what is truth? If you say truth is Brahman, Parabrahman, Paramatma, whatever you call, if truth is what you think Krishna is, or Parabrahman is Nisaguna, Nirguna, it doesn't matter. Yasyamatam, tasyamatam. If somebody says this is exactly what Lord is or Paramatma is, he doesn't know. Tat viditat adhi. Whatever you know about Brahman, you don't know enough because he is beyond all conception. So this is why Bhagavad Gita study or Upanishad study or something will push you to next level. What is it? Action. You will take a path and start implementing the ideas and taking a path to go sadhana, what they call it as sadhana. That is why Bhagavad Gita is Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. Brahma Vidya is more like a theoretical study. Yoga Shastre is actual practice. So what does all the study give you? Ideology to go and take action.
So, so this is Prashant. So other than you, like you had already mentioned, and even KSV sir had also told that these are different levels of truth, and all the acharyas mean nearly the same, even though they have taken different paths, but the goal is the same. And there are many others as well. One of the well-known Advaitin also I asked a few days back. He also told me the same, that these things, like I had a question, like when Madhvacharya and other great acharyas were like preaching at that time, they were like they preached in a way that in that case, like for Shankaracharya is a Prachanda Buddha that way. So however, he said that Madhvacharya was right at that time, because he wanted to make a difference in people. Like people were blindly accepting Aham Brahmasmi. So actually it's only at the Paramarthika level where you say that it's Aham Brahmasmi, but in the Vyavharika world, there is a difference between the two. That
Bhakti only, right? Level, you have to do bhakti. Bhakti is the only path.
yeah, and at that level, if people have not attained any kind of jnana, in that case, it's always that we should do bhakti and we should do our karmas, and that's
Exactly.
why Madhvacharya took a very divergent view at that time.
Yeah, see, Madhvacharya basically is, one thing, see, I told you, right? I asked somebody, to be honest with you, this is like, I'm saying on record, actually, it's just not so good to do that.
Yeah.
The person was actually this is hard to say in record, how do I say it? I don't want to say some details because some person that refers to what I talked to Krishna a long time back. I don't want somebody to feel bad. What it is, an ordinary person will think that, oh, I'm ready for Jnana Yoga. I'm not really, I'm fit for Jnana Yoga. Many people may think like that, right? That is where Madhvacharya and Ramacharya took offense and said that, look, I don't want ordinary people to be confused. So ordinary people should only do worship, and they always think that everything is separate. There's nothing called one. We are all separate. So they focused on separation or bheda, and say that bheda is very, very useful for bhakti, for devotion. And let us first get everybody in the path of devotion.
Yes.
That's their idea.
And if even Shankaracharya was in that kind of position, he would have done the same, because he has to make people understand that what is the difference, like what exactly
Think
Shankaracharya.
from a different perspective. What was the time of Shankaracharya? 700 something, 730 something, right?
Yeah.
During that time, even the Vedantis could not even deal with the power of Buddhists. The Buddhists were still very, very powerful. No, other than Shankaracharya, nobody had created a offense against Buddhism, because Buddhism was driving everybody towards no God, right? No God, nothing.
Yes.
So to take away that position and attack the Buddhists, Shankaracharya could go only one way. He had to see, because he didn't have an idea that Buddhists should get out of India. See, there's Buddhists did not jump and fall into India. They did not cross borders or took a ship or took a flight or something and landed in India. They're all people right here. They're all people from India. Buddhists are all local people. So Shankaracharya wanted to impress on them too that what is right. All Shankaracharya said was, look, I agree with several things you say, but some things are wrong. Let us stick to what is right. So he modified the theory for Buddhists. So sometimes he did, he sounded Buddhist here and there because he had to use that language to guide them properly.
Yes.
But the later Acharyas did not have to face those kind of political and social problems.
Yes. And
And one of my yogi acharyas say, whatever was in the heart of Shankaracharya is the same in the heart of Ramanujacharya and other acharyas.
yes.
But they had to present it in different ways. That's all it is.
And if Shankaracharya at once says Aham Brahmasmi, and he talks about like he's closer to Buddhism, but at the same time he also talks about Bhaja Govindam.
Of
So
course.
yeah.
Of course. So the thing is, so for the ordinary, for everybody, ordinary people, Bhajagovindam is the only way according to Shankaracharya, right? The thing is, look at Bhagavad Gita Bhashya and see seriously and try to understand his works. Only when you go line by line and try to assess, you will not be able to find any issue there. Very hard.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. See, all you
Thank
have
you.
to remember in Shankar Bhashya is he is talking about giving up karmas only to the highest level of person. Like I told you, right? That is, this person was so much involved in Paramatma, he could not even do work. If you talk about a person like Nammalvar, he is sitting in a yoga dasha for 16 years from birth, almost, or maybe 1 year old or something. For 16, 17 years in the crevice of a tamarind tree, because their parents could not take care of the kid, because the parents didn't even know how to feed Nammalvar. And all he has said is sitting from there. For such a person, karmas are not necessary. In fact, in one place it says, Nammalvar talks in the Nala Radivya Prabandham, in the 4,000 hymns. In one of the 1,000 hymns he did, right? He did 1,000, Tiruvar Moyi is 1,024 hymns. The Acharyas, right? He talks about Lord Krishna leaving when he was young. He was leaving to the forest to graze the cows with all the gopas and gopis. And Nammalvar at one moment thought, oh, is Krishna coming back? Oh, he hasn't come back yet. It's already 7 o'clock. The sunset is already happening. Where did Krishna get lost in the forest? That's what he thought. He became so attached to the whole. He realized Krishna in such a way that he could not come out of samadhi for 6 months from that point, because he was worried that Krishna was lost in the forest. That's all. These kind of people who did for 6 months, he didn't do any karmas, he didn't do any action. Wasn't he supposed to do some actions? So all these things, all this logic will not work for those kind of people. For such people, giving of karmas is no issue. For them, even the loka sangraha also is not possible during the phase of the samadhi. In fact, Sri Vedanta Deshika says in the Ramanuja Bhashya, for people who go off to samadhi for a long period of time, when they come back from samadhi, when they are in this, then they have to do actions.
Yes.
They have to do their nitya karmas, even to be, as an example, guide for others.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that explanation. And one more question, maybe this is not the right place for the question, but still one question which was in my mind. One thing is like in the Smartha Sampradaya, people follow the Panchayatana concept or the Shanmata concept. But at the same time, they have the Bhasmadharis. They are the Bhasmadharis, and at the same time, all the Shankar Mathas, they have the starting invocation with Narayaniyam. So to Lord Narayana. So why is it so? The difference.
See, the thing is, think from, see, in the Shankara Mathas, there is a Panchayatana Puja where Ambika, Aditya Ambika, and Vishnu, Shiva, all these are deities, right?
Yes.
See, even in Shankara Bhashya, that Omkara, Swami Omkarananda was telling, not Omkarananda, Swami Krishna Shastriya or somebody was saying in one of the lectures recently I heard, When they go to a particular Durga Mata temple, they say, oh, Nanyam na jane, I don't know anybody other than you. You are my refuge. When they go to some other temple like Ganesha temple, they will say, I don't know anybody else other than you. And then they go to some other Ishvara temple and say, I don't know anything other than you. Right? Are they lying? That's what the Shastri was saying. Therefore, they're lying to every day. They're going and worshipping. Goddamn liars, kind of a thing, right? Really speaking, what he told was, look, when they talk about deity, they only talk about Brahman, which is the Antaryami for all deities, and it's the only one person. So the Devata Puja is a focus for people, is a methodology for people, but finally their goal is to only pray to Narayana. Narayana is the one entity. Vasudeva they call. Shankaracharya says in the 6th chapter, penultimate verse, Yoginam api sarvesham madhyate antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamo mataha. He says, Rudraditya Paranam Devatanam Madhye, Yaha Mameva Vasudevameva, he says, right? It is among the so many worshippers of Rudras and Aditya and all those such worshippers. Those who worship me, Vasudeva, who is the inner Atman of everything, he is of the highest of the yogis. Shankaracharya says this.
Yes.
That means even deity worship is to actually eventually lead to the Atman worship. That is worship of the inner Atman. Do you understand?
Yes. And he also says somewhere, I don't remember that, but all other devatas are just pradurbhavas. So in that case, it's like it goes to Lord Narayana, to
Of
whoever
course.
you.
Exactly. Sarvadeva Namaskaram, Keshavam Pratigacchati, kind of a thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
So we'll stop here. It's already 9:34, right? Asmat Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Krishna Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Narasimha Parabrahmane Namaha. Shri Lakshmi Hayavadana Parabrahmane Namaha. Sapam Shri Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you.